hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Happy New Year, everybody. Today's date is January 8th, 2026. And this is the start of the live stream for the January 2026 triplet set. So today is the first of the 3 healings. And in this set, I will be healing 132 people in 12 different countries. So hello to everyone that I'll be healing, which is the people that purchased this set in advance on my website, jwhealing.com. Thank you for my confirmation. I appreciate that. I prepared so much. I just didn't clean my glasses, but I prepared in many other ways for this set. Okay, so what will we do today? Okay, wait. Okay, so it's sort of a, hey, thanks for my extra confirmations. Thank you. Hello. Feel free to say hi in the chat if you want. Say where you're viewing from if you want, what your weather's like. So the theme for this whole month of healing, so this set of 3 healings and then the set of 2 healings, which is the February twins set, which is still for sale on my website, jwhealing.com. The theme is be decisive, clarity and action. But then there's also an extra theme that the angels particularly liked for this month, which I didn't really tell people about that in advance. I didn't give the backstory on it in advance, the whole healthy boundaries with group fear thing. But the angels did point it out to me that this January in particular of this year, 2026, in American politics will be especially dramatic. Which has proven already to be the case. But they said that we're only like halfway done with the drama. So not to freak anybody out though. That's why I didn't announce it in advance. But I guess they're nudging me to announce it now. So there's more drama to come this month, allegedly. I do not read the future, but I do listen to angel messages, so whatever. But the whole point is to not be caught up in the fear and the drama of it. And to just be present and have your wisdom during whatever happens. So they say we're about halfway through though, like 50% of the drama load of American politics in January 2026. So anyway, that's that second part of the theme. That's why that's there. Boundaries with group fear. Because these political events, they tend to stir up, they tend to be very triggering. And so, for everybody. And so, you know, you can clear your matches. You can clear fear that you have in common with the masses in your country, in the planet, whatever, and therefore not kind of get swept away by the panic. And, you know, stay present, keep it cool, that kind of idea. So that's that part. So that's the second part of the theme for this month. That's why that is specifically there this month. And I do apologize to other people on the planet that American politics may even be triggering for you if you don't live in the US. So, there's that. But that's all I'm going to say about politics, hopefully. I do have strong political views. I told people last year that I would stop sharing them in detail on my live streams. So anyway, so then the other part of the theme for this month, be decisive, clarity, and action. That is going to be really fun to work. And I think it is not that hard to work either. So clarity and action, be decisive. It's like, it's sort of like, well, if you have clarity and you take action, then you're decisive, take decisive action. It's sort of all one concept. So I'll just go into how we're approaching all of that today in today's healing. Okay, so overall, okay, so the nutshell is, other than the 5 essentials, which we always do in the start, and they're very thorough. So it's not like a quickie little thing. It's, grounding, aura repair, chakra repair, creative ring repair, and back of head work to clear and unblock and repair. That's the 5 essentials. So we will of course do that today. And that's good for, helping strong boundaries, getting people out of your space, and or all sorts of other things, because in that we're working all chakras and all auras. So, it's good. Other than the 5 essentials, it's going to be mostly accomplished what we do through mind garden work, mind garden healing, which, if you don't like gardens, you can make them into beaches or rivers or whatever, oceans, whatever you floats your boat. But I'll be doing mind garden healing. So you imagine the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and like a flowy gold boundary between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. And you just kind of visualize what you need to clear and just melt it all away from your gardens, your subconscious garden and your conscious garden, and the flowy barrier that connects your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. So that's that. So a lot of what we will do is through that. But then there will be one exercise where I do it as a river. And I'm very much looking forward to that too, which I will explain in a minute. And then just a one note about the 5 essentials. We will again do like a cool sort of the back of head stuff. The 5th essential is base of skull points and good karma windows, which are back here for the astral body aura. We will, again, just like we did in the final healing of the last set, the last healing of the year, 2025, we repaired and unblocked this section of 5 different auras as we were working, the base of skull points and the good karma windows, which I think is nice and effective. So I want to keep doing that. The 5 auras being physical body, astral body aura, and then those 3 meridians here, they all have auras, and the auras wrap all your auras wrap all around you. So no, I'm not going to draw a diagram. Just freaking imagine it. You're in the middle, the bubble's all around you. That's what it looks like. I don't know how to draw a 3D circle, okay? A 3D sphere. But you're in the middle, and it's all around you. See? So anyway, so all your auras are like that, but we're going to especially make sure back here is repaired on 5 of those 17 auras. As we do it. And it's a lot simpler than it sounds. But that we did that as part of back here stuff in the last healing, and I'll do that again. So that's the nutshell, is the 5 auras included in the good karma windows with the 5 essentials. And then after the 5 essentials, it's mostly mind garden work. Also, there'll be one that's river, working stuff as a river. So very newbie friendly, but also very advanced friendly too. Very interesting, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so the mind garden work, like I said, most of what we're going to do after the 5 essentials is mind garden healing to heal your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, and the barrier in between the two. So we're going to be doing a lot with that. Like 4 different things I would group within that mind garden work. Maybe the most important is to clear denial. Because the theme, be decisive, clarity, and action, I think a big part of that is clearing denial. That I think will help people to just kind of be like, whoa, yeah, I get it. I have clarity. Let me do this. I think that the subconscious mind is pretty wild with denial. Like sometimes there's stuff that should stay in your subconscious for now. It's like too much. But then there's generally plenty that should actually start coming forward into your conscious mind, but it's just not because of, your mom's fears in the way in your subconscious mind, or your siblings, anger that they threw at you is in your subconscious mind. For some reason, something's jammed up, and so the clarity that you want, you don't have because of denial oftentimes. So we're going to work on clearing denial so you get your clarity and like you can find super doable baby steps and get your action and be decisive, blah blah blah. So denial, and we're going to divide it even into subgroups about denial, because sometimes when you dial into specifics, it's like bam, you can really be more precise and thorough. So we're going to clear denial about any lifestyle changes that you should be making, like not that I say you should be making, but like maybe your higher self or like the wiser part of you thinks you should be making, or your angels think you should be making, so there could be denial blocking your knowledge of these lifestyle changes that you should make, or how you should make them. So that's one aspect. And then the other 2 clear denial subtopics are clear denial around physical body care that your physical body might need. Say, you really need to go to the dentist, or you really need to go to the chiropractor, or you really need to get a massage, or you really need to start stretching, or you really need to, go on a walk, or whatever, use the treadmill, whatever. So physical body care, like sleep, getting enough sleep, there could be a lot of denial in the way that makes you just not do this physical body care that you need. So we'll work on clearing that denial. And then also emotional and mental self-care, which is, I would say, equally as important. For like strong boundaries and, all this energy work to be effective, you can't just do this energy work. You have to do the physical care and the emotional and mental care. And I think I tend to, I attract all sorts of, clients, right? Like yourself, but sometimes either I attract people who are kind of overly fixated on energy work, or by my only mentioning energy work, maybe I'm encouraging people to overly fixate on energy work to the expense of ignoring their emotional and mental care. Like, do you journal? Do you go to a therapist if you need it? Do you, different things like that, like mental, emotional care, that stuff can really impact the strength of your boundaries and the quality of your energy and your ability to manifest things. They can be like internal structural weaknesses that tax your energy boundaries. Just like physical, internal structural things. If you have physical things wrong with you that you're not getting addressed, either with a practitioner or through your lifestyle changes or both, then it's like an inner weakness, and it can make your boundaries kind of like a house of cards. So you're like constantly repairing, and you feel like, oh, it's never enough, And it's like, well, okay, but it's not enough because you're only thinking that that's all you need, and it's not. It's just like maybe a third of the puzzle. You know, there's energy work, there's physical stuff, there's emotional and mental stuff. You know, it's like it's all equally strengthening. And if any one of those components is grossly under addressed, you're potentially screwed. So we don't want you to be screwed, right? So that's another thing we'll be working on, is clearing denial around emotional and mental care, as well as clearing denial around, you know, physical care and lifestyle changes. So that's going to be huge. So that was just the clear denial in the 3 topics, the 3 subtopics of clearing denial that we will do with Mind Garden today. And they'll each be their own chapter, so they'll be easy to find, knock on wood. And I will make video chapters within like a day and a half, you know, by late tomorrow, because it's already really late my time almost. So by the time I'm done with this, it'll be like my dinner time, basically, almost. So is not happening today. All right. So then we'll also clear fear, which is a part of the theme, right? Boundaries, strong boundaries with group fear is a part of the theme. So you're ready for whatever happens. You got it. You're present. You're sober. You're large and in charge, right? So we will clear fear, specifically 3 aspects of that. Fear of being attacked. It could be physically attacked, but I think also like emotionally attacked or energetically attacked. You know, like invasive people, fear of invasive people, fear of invasive beings, all that stuff. I think that is a thing that, you know, we can definitely address. And I think that will help people to have more wisdom about their boundary problems with people. Because sometimes it's like people over focus on, oh, this person I'm working with is being invasive with me. You know, well, true, but there are endless supply of people in the world that could be invasive with you. You know, it's like you also want to be aware of, you know, what auras of yours are ripped open that it's so easy for this particular invasive person to be in your space. You know what I mean? And you also want to have your wisdom and, you know, not like kind of, you know, the more you're just mellow and wise and you have your vision and your knowledge and your intuition about it, the more you can be like efficient with your energy and not like sort of spin your wheels about, why is this person invasive? I gotta get him out. You know, it's like if you can clear your fear around the whole, you know, being attacked or having or invasive forces, you know, then it just saves time and makes you smarter. And so that's good. Right? So that's the first thing, clear fear of being attacked. The second is clear fear of failure, which I think probably everybody has it to some extent. Even people that seem overconfident probably have it. It could be subconscious only, and you don't have a conscious fear of failure. You're just like confident all the time. Or it could be both, subconscious and conscious, that you're really concerned, and that keeps you from like trying things or, you know, like starting exercise again because you're afraid that, you know, you won't do it right or you'll injure yourself or you'll stop again and feel so ashamed, blah, 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 you know, whatever. So fear of failure, I think, is a great thing to clear. And through Mind Garden work, I think it would be nice and mellow and interesting to do it that way. And then the third sort of subtopic within clearing fear using Mind Garden technique is it's the one that most closely resembles the theme, you know, of group fear, clearing your matches with group fear. And it could be group fear on a national level, on an international level, on a family level, whatever. Political party level, whatever. So clearing fear that you have in common with a group of people. If you clear your fear, then it allows you to separate from that sort of the mass panic vibe, which is pretty priceless. And helps you handle, whatever political global shifts that happen in the world much more gracefully. So that's the clear fear stuff that we'll do today through mind garden work. We have so much to do today. But it's harder to explain than to do, so that's fine. So this is another section that we'll do within Mind Garden is clearing copies of other people's baggage. So commonly that's like your parents, like kids very often do this. Even with parents that aren't like crazy. Yeah. It's really easy for a kid to take on a copy of, their dad's fear or their mom's anger or vice versa, or, whatever. Just by being around them and wanting the parents to be happy and realizing that, hey, my life is better and easier when my parents are happy, it sort of subconsciously motivates the kid to just try to fix their parent by taking on copies of their pain, which of course doesn't fix the parent and just, harms the child as well. But anyway, so it'll be good to clear that, to clear copies of other people's baggage. So it could be like an ex-husband, ex-wife of yours, or an ex-boyfriend or an ex-friend of yours, or family members, whatever. But clear copies of other people's baggage. I think that'll be interesting to do within Mind Garden work. So that'll be cool. So this one is pretty easy too, and I think it could be pretty interesting to do within this Mind Garden healing clearing stuff, is clearing repressed anger. I mean, we could clear conscious anger too, so in your conscious mind garden, you could, imagine objects or any stuck anger, and melt those away. But also the subconscious, I would think there's going to be a much greater quantity in the subconscious garden, greater quantity of repressed anger, just because anger is typically not fun for people, so that'll motivate people to repress their anger. Also, depending on different like cultural and gender and religious contexts, sometimes, oftentimes I would say anger is not socially acceptable in a lot of situations. And so, that can cause someone to repress anger and from all the past lives too. If it's still repressed from those lives, you're bringing it forward. And so anyway, there's a lot of good that can come from clearing repressed anger. Sometimes repressed anger can cause you to be like mishear angel advice, and so your angels will try to teach you something or explain something to you on a subconscious level, and you'll just like get all this repressed anger triggered and go off on a tangent and not listen to your angels. So it can get in the way of working with your angels in the most beneficial way to you possible. So that should be really nice to work on clearing that, the repressed anger, using Mind Garden technique. Okay. So then now the river. The one thing we're going to do with a river. Okay, so we're going to unblock a river that represents your ability to process emotions, process your emotions. And if it's blocked up, you're just going to unblock it. So it's not that then you'll feel like every emotion you ever repressed in your life or anything. It just means you'll be able to, it won't be such a log jam, because as I explained, maybe in the nutshell, I don't know, I explained it already in this live stream. If you have too much stuff repressed, you're not taking proper care of your emotional wellness and your mental wellness, then it can affect everything, including your immune system, including, your ability to have strong boundaries. Sometimes you can repair everything and it just like gets completely destroyed like so rapidly. And it's not that you didn't do a good job repairing. And it's also not that, there's some like cosmically enormous being whacking the crap out of you. It's just that you're a house of cards because of you have too much backed up emotional stuff that you haven't processed, or you have, you're not taking care of yourself in other ways. So it'll be good. And I think it's pretty easy to do, to imagine it as a river and just start, melting the jammed up stuff in the river, so that, once the river's flowing, that means you're able to process emotion in a healthy and gentle pace for you, and still be, a functional person and not have a problem. So that's it. That's all. So, so let's see. So I'm going to take a quick look at pre-healing chat comments. Oh, and if somebody can tell me how long the live stream has been going so far, because I forgot to turn on my timer, and I'd like to keep track of how long the live stream is in total. So if you can tell me how long I've been going so far, that would be helpful. Thank you. Okay. So it says we can see and hear you. Thank you so much. Hey, Janet, can see and hear you in sunny San Francisco. Sunny right now? Wow. I'm impressed. Was it still sunny when you commented? 52 degrees Fahrenheit. You do have, I think you have, I looked it up. I think in California, they have an hour more sunlight than we do. At least a month ago when I looked it up. Of course, here it's almost completely dark out. Mostly dark out. I think if you go out, you can see a little bit. So it says, hey, Janet, yay to the first healing of the year. Yes, that's right. First group healing of 2026. I can see and hear you from windy Las Vegas, 53 degrees Fahrenheit. 53, that's pretty nice for January, early January. Hello from Muckamore, Northern Ireland. Well, hello to you. Glad we are working denial. Yes. Yes. Denial is good for everyone to work, even if you're in denial that you need to work denial. Hi from Chicago, 55 degrees Fahrenheit and pouring rain. How about that? We are often pouring rain, but not at the moment. About 27 minutes so far. Okay, good. Thanks so much. All right, so I started my timer, so I'll know to add on about 28 minutes or so. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. Oh, and I did unravel the mystery of there were last live stream last year there were only 3 minutes with no sound as opposed to like the live stream before that where there was so much time with no sound. This is a different cause, so not to get into the whole complex thing, but with the 3 minutes, because I had thought I'd fixed all the no sound problems because I did extensive testing before the last live stream last year. But it turns out just by doing the healing, I like bashed the button because the button, this is the mute button, and it's so easy to press. And there's no light or anything, so I don't really know that I've pressed it, you know? So anyway, hopefully I don't do that today. So in case you have a mind like mine, that's just like when you have a question in your mind, it just kind of rattles around. So that's the mystery solved about the 3 minutes of silence in 3 minutes of unintended silence in the last healing. Not the on purpose 3 minutes of quiet that I'm about to do. Okay, so this is just a quick section of for newbies. If you don't know, just because you're watching live, it does not mean I'm healing you as I'm about to start this healing. You can heal yourself as you watch live because except for like the first minute where I don't talk, the rest of the time I do talk and I explain what I'm doing as I do it. So even if you're an adventurous newbie or you're advanced, very experienced energy healer, you can just use it as a self-healing walkthrough and heal yourself as you listen. There are 132 people that they and or their loved ones purchased the healing on my website, and those are the people that I'm healing, the people that paid money, basically, because I need to, earn a living. But it is, I think very affordable rates. I try to keep them that way. And there is even financial need versions of the rates if that's necessary. So that's all on my website, jwhealing.com. JW for Janet Wright, healing for energy healing. Okay, so now the country count. And so anybody can purchase a healing set. It doesn't matter if I haven't worked with you before or whatever, or you could purchase it for your loved ones. Just explain to me first and last name, who they are to you, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so of the 132 people in 12 different countries, 103 of them are in the US, 6 are in the UK, 5 in the United Arab Emirates, 3 in Canada, 4 in Qatar, 3 in Ukraine, 2 in Bermuda, 2 in South Korea, 1 in Norway, 1 in Malta, 1 in Japan, and 1 in Australia. I love that. I think that's so cool. Okay, so now I'll do the 3 minutes of quiet, and towards the end of that, I'll start the healing, and then, like I said, the rest of it, I will talk out loud as I heal. So during the 3 minutes of quiet, I'm just finishing my prep work and saying hi to all the people that I'll be healing on a subconscious telepathic level. Okie doke. I'm going to move the mic to see if you can hear my dog barking in his sleep. I always love how that sounds. So annoying. He stopped right when I tried to get him to do it on microphone. Oh well. Okay. Hello, hello. Thank you for waiting. So, we'll do the first essential, which is grounding in the same video chapter as getting the hand chakras going and unblocking shoulders and arms. So we'll do hands first. So you have a hand chakra in the palm of each hand. It's pretty big. And so you can set that to a metallic gold color like this glitter. And you just with your intention, with your thought, with your mind, set it to that color so that then as it naturally spins, it's generating gold healing energy for you. And then you have fingertip chakras, one in each fingertip, and set those to a metallic gold color with your intention again, so that when they spin, they generate gold healing energy. So then you can use the gold light from one hand to wash and repair and heal the other hand. So kind of like gold soap and water, gold fire, whatever you prefer. And you can imagine a copy out in front of you of all sorts of parts of your energy system in order to heal them. Because, not everything's as accessible and easy to heal directly as your hands like this, right? So just imagine your head, your neck, your shoulders, your arms out in front of you like a copy, right? And your auras all around those areas. And just use so much gold light and unblock your head, your spine, your upper spine, your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your hands. Unblock your hand chakras, your fingertip chakras. Your brain is pretty cool to do energy healing on. We're not going to do much of it now, but you can just kind of acknowledge how cool it is, run gold light through it. And then your brain, and then there's like your lower brain stem, which then, you know, your spinal cord connects to your lower brainstem, so you can heal your lower brainstem, and then your spinal cord. And again, unblock your auras around your neck and shoulders. A lot of people this time of year tend to have respiratory issues with their throat, issues with their, you know, chest congestion. You know, the simplest thing is just to imagine all your auras all around your neck and your shoulders and your chest and your sinuses too, and just comb through and drag out whatever's healthy and gentle to get rid of, and wrap it in gold light. Say, angels, can you help me with all that? Drag out the junk. Angels, here you go. Drag out the junk. So from your chest, your sinuses, all around your neck and shoulders, drag out the junk. Wrap it in gold light. Angels, here you go. Wardrobe change. So we added okay, so we've been doing also sinuses and lungs. Your sinus cavities are all in your head, like behind your skin, you know, all in there. There's an image of them too, if you want. I can show. Can't find it. That's your face. Seem to have lost my sinuses diagram, but this one actually is good. I like this one. Try to find that for next live stream. Where did my sinus image go? Anyway, so just, you know, you can imagine you're a copy of yourself facing whichever way you want, and just comb through the whole thing and just drag out anything that's healthy and gentle. Wrap it up in gold light. Angels, can you help me with all that? You can melt the energy blocks with gold light, but then there could be invasive people, there could be invasive beings kind of jammed up in the blocked areas. So you can just drag all that out, wrap it in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So we're unblocking your sinuses and your auras all around your throat. Like I had all sorts of different auras. You can have damage in those auras causing, you know, like a funny bad feeling in your throat or your chest. So I had one in my I had a bunch of wax in my large intestine meridian, which goes over the shoulders, and then it's the one that goes to the side of the nose, starts in one of your fingers and goes up and like that. And so like all this area was like whacked so much that then I literally felt like a burning hole in my throat, which, you know, most people would interpret as, oh, I'm getting a sore throat, you know, but there was a physical cause. I had been around a lot of people and gotten germs 2 days earlier, but then the energy cause was you know, the energy destruction of my auras. So anyway, long story short, repair your auras around your neck and throat. We'll do aura repair also, but I just kind of wanted to feature the neck and the sinuses a little bit extra. In the chest. Drag out the junk, melt it away, drag out the junk, melt it away. Yeah, so then shoulders, arms, hands. Arms, hands. I do have a playlist of the 12 meridians, but I also have a playlist, all the 12 regular meridians, but then I also have a playlist just for ones that go through the back, the neck, the shoulders, you know, this whole area. Just those meridians, which includes CV and GV. So that's a nice playlist. I think I call it, you know, neck, shoulders, back meridians or something. And it just, you know, it just goes through each meridian video, but you know, it's like a nice reminder of what's going on here if you watch it and heal those meridians and those auras as you watch it, if you want. Okay, so that's enough with that. Oh, let's do grounding. How about? Let's do grounding. So so your grounding is your connection to the core of the earth. You have two technically, one for your body energy system and one for you as a spirit, that energy system. So I call them your physical grounding and then your astral grounding. So just recreate both of them, make them both wide as all your auras, and all the way down to the core of the earth. Keep them nice and wide and flowing. You can make a copy out in front of you of your groundings, those two groundings, and just use gold light from your hands to melt the blocks in your groundings. And you can just find the blocks with your vision, with your intuition, with your hands, or if you're not confident that you're going to be able to find the blocks, you can sweep them together with your hands, and so then you know they're all in a big lump, and then just use so much cold light that they melt away to sweep together the blocks, and then use so much cold light that they melt away. And while you're at it, you can unblock the bottom of all your auras. So like, say Yoga Dog here, you know, his auras, just like yours, go all around you. So that includes beneath you, right? So the bottom of the auras is, you know, here from your butt on down is what I'm talking about. Right? So you can unblock those, the bottom part of all your auras. Gold light, just imagine the blocks. And melt them away with gold light. All right, good job, good job. Okay. And so we're going to do aura repair, all your auras at once. And again, just a reminder, Wei Qi is a traditional Chinese medicine concept. It's basically strong boundaries energy, but it's it's very much also the energy that keeps your body from getting sick. So if your body is already sick, say you have a tooth infection or you have an inflamed spinal disc or something, that's going to weaken your Wei Qi because it's going to be busy trying to deal with all that stuff. So it's just another reminder that aura repair, chakra repair, whatever, is not all you need, right? You need to actually address your physical body issues through physical means as well, which I already went into in great detail in the intro. Okay, so now we'll do aura repair, which is useful, but not a panacea for body issues. Okay. Panacea, that's a good word, right? Cure-all. Okay, so all your 17 auras, astral body, physical body, and your 15 Wei Qi auras, right? And they all go all around you. They look like giant spheres. They're all in the same place. So if you can't see the detail of that there are 17, it looks just like one big bubble, and you're in the middle, right? So just make a copy of all your auras out in front of you, and use gold light and check for rips, check for big, caved in valleys, because they shouldn't be there. Should be all just a big 17 big bubbles, so that they all the same size, they're all giant, and no rips, no leaks. But, stuff happens. Rips happen. So you could manually repair them if like when my I had that burning sensation of like a hot sort of hole in my throat. I was doing localized repair, right, from there, because all like at least one or two auras were just like completely gone right there, right? But so you can do that, like say if you have a shoulder issue or knee issue or a throat issue or something, you can do localize and focus that way. But we'll just heal all the rips in all the auras at once right now. But if you do local, it's the same method. Just, get every junk out of there and then use gold light to repair it. Okay, so, but to repair all at once, just imagine a rip, and with your intention, you make it so that, okay, this rip represents all the rips that you have in your 17 auras right now. So it's a composite copy rip, right? And so it represents all those rips. And then you clean it out and repair it with gold light. So use sticky gold wax first, and that's just gold light that sticks to everything that's not you and forms a big lump. So it's easy to get rid of the junk all at once, right? So sticky gold wax, have it stick to everything that's not you, including hard objects and all invasive energy. Make a big lump of it and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk at once. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. And you can say too, for good measure, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you please recycle them? And get the gold light as deep as you can so that the repair gets going. And maybe you missed a couple of the hard objects, grab them. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. All right, so you probably just repaired most of the rips, if not all. So just to be safe, we'll do it one more time for any leftover rips that you may still have. So same process. So make a composite copy rip that represents all your leftover rips. And then sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Angels, if there are any invasive energies in the way of this repair, can you please recycle them? Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. And get the gold light as deep as you can in there. So then just check the outer surface of all your auras, and you're checking for leaks. If there are leaks, it could feel sort of like air coming out of a tire. And so just use a lot of gold light. You could say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? All right, and then you could redo your gold buffer zones. So gold buffer zones are just big gold flowy force fields that you can create on the edge of your astral body aura and on the edge of your physical body aura all around you. So it just takes longer then for people to get to harming your actual aura because there's the buffer first. And then you can recreate your buffers whenever you need to. There are gold mesh spheres. If that blows your mind, just do it with your intention. But there are, each of those 15 Wei Qi auras has 3 gold mesh spheres in it. Those gold mesh spheres generate gold light. And so sometimes if you repair a rip, the gold mesh spheres don't like regrow back. And so you just do extra gold light to get those gold mesh spheres to grow back and be continuous. So you're surrounded with these gold mesh spheres that keep generating gold light and sending it inward towards your meridians and all your body systems. So you just imagine all your auras and then all the gold mesh spheres within them, and just use so much gold light that it just goes wherever it's needed to repair your gold mesh spheres. All right, good enough. So that's aura repair. Easy peasy. So creative rings are up here in your astral body aura. So 1, 2, 3. They are part of you as a spirit. And they generate a lot of gold light, which is cool. And that gold light forms a nice force field around the gold rings and also gets sent downward to nourish all your major chakras along your spine. So you can imagine a copy of your 3 gold creative rings out in front of you and use a lot of gold light and melt cords from everybody that might be connecting into these creative rings. It's a very invasive thing to do, to cord somebody's creative rings. Not to say that nobody does it, but I guess just to say, like, there's no good reason for someone to do it, for someone to cord these. So just use lots of gold light and melt away all the cords. You could have some invasive beings cording your creative rings. Sometimes that looks like a cloudiness around them. So you can just say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are messing with my creative rings? And then just take a deep breath and enjoy your healthy beverage while your angels do that work for you. And your creative rings have flaps, just like your chakras have flaps around the round openings. So when the flaps are stuck open and in an irritated state, this is what they look like. So that would be like a top-down view of one of your creative rings with the flaps stuck open. So you don't want that. You want the flaps to be relaxed and shut. And in which case it would look just like a smooth ring without flaps sticking out. So you can just intuit or feel or see if the flaps of your creative rings are sticking out. And if so, there are more cords to melt away. There are more invasive beings to get recycled by your angels. Maybe more hard objects that are stuck in the creative rings that you can melt away or just lift off and give to your angels. Angels, here you go. So lift off any hard objects stuck in your creative rings. Lift them off. Angels, here you go. And you can just do any repair that's needed. We can do sticky gold wax to unblock further. So sticky gold wax, we did during aura repair as well. It's an easy way to get rid of stuff that's not you. So you imagine your 3 gold creative rings, use sticky gold wax, put it inside the rings, all around the rings, in front of, on top, beneath, yada yada. And just have the wax stick to everything that's not you, and then just lift the wax out, leave the rings in place, and give that junk to your angels. Angels, can you help me with that? The sticky gold wax, lift out the junk. Angels, can you help me with that? And once again, just melt cords from people out of your creative rings. And you can just see how that feels now that it's much more repaired, much more relaxed. All right, good job. Okay, we're going to do clear STEBs. I'm just sticking this in here. Because I think people need it. Maybe I freak people out talking about political drama. I mean, I didn't talk in any detail, but I just said that the angels had said that January would be a big political drama type month for the U.S., which, is already apparent. But anyway, so let's clear STEBs, clear stubborn triggered energy blocks so that, we don't have to freak out, right? So just stubborn triggered energy blocks. They're energy blocks that are triggered that haven't cleared yet. And so you can just pile them up out in front of you, copies of those energy blocks, and use red earth energy, bring up the red earth energy, soak these energy blocks in red earth energy. So these could be blocks that are triggered, that were triggered, before you started listening to me, or, they got triggered last week by the holidays or whatever, right? So just whatever's still triggered in your space, just melt it, soak it in red earth energy, and then use gold light to melt cords going into all this stuff from other people and from yourself. You can say too, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this stuff? And that's not to scare you because you're giant. These little things are, have nothing better to do than get stuck places. So just have your angels recycle them. So, and then use so much gold light that it all melts, or once you've washed everybody out, you could blow up the blocks if you're healing yourself. And if it doesn't all melt or get blown up, if you have leftovers, you can wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with all that? All right, good job. Woohoo. Okay, so now we're going to repair and unblock all chakras at once using composite copy technique. So this is the basic shape of all your chakras. Obviously, none of them are this big. But this is the basic shape, open cylinder. And so all your chakras is not just 7 major physical body chakras along your spine and then the 7 astral body chakras along your astral body spine. It's also, all the acupuncture points of your physical body, those are chakras. I call those minor chakras. Anything that's not the 7 and the 7 is minor chakras, though very important. So acupuncture points, those are all chakras, just chakras in your, around your joints and your major limbs, just keep everything flowing. Those are chakras as well. So we'll repair and unblock all of them at once to the extent that's healthy and gentle. So you just have that intention, healthy and gentle. You want to do a lot, but not too much, right? So you can make a shape somewhat similar to this and out in front of you and just say with your intention, okay, this represents all my chakras, all the chakras of my body and my spirit. And then just use gold light. You can bring up red earth energy, soak it in red earth energy and gold light. And melt cords from other people. And you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are cording my chakras? So damage is typically around the openings. You can have cracks. You can have big missing chunks. When my throat was messed up, I had a big part scooped out of the side of my 5th chakra, both 5th chakras actually. So the damage can be anywhere, basically, long story short. So just use lots of gold light and melt cords and repair damage with gold light. So the flaps, those are around the round opening. And so if they're irritated and stuck open, it's like this, but it's not gold. You know, the chakra isn't gold. It's, you know, I would suggest like a rainbow color system. So red, orange, yellow, red, orange. I'll do it. See. Where's AccuDoll? Oh. AccuDoll. So red for the 1st chakra, 2nd for the orange, 3rd chakra yellow. So red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, and then purple for the 7th in the top of the head. So the rainbow system, right? So as what I consider ideal. Doesn't have to be that way, but that's ideal. So you can use your intention and just set them that way. But anyway, so all your chakras, you can have that copy out in front of you and just melt the cords, melt the blocks, repair the damage. Again, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with these chakras, can you recycle them? So the flaps would be around the flaps. If they're stuck open, they'd be around here, like sticking out. So you just use so much cold light that it can relax and fall shut again. So then your energy can go through the chakra, but it's harder for people to cord that way if the flaps are shut. And we could do sticky gold wax for your chakras too. So just soak it in sticky gold wax and use the wax to make a lump for everything that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of right now. Lift out the junk and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Lift sticky gold wax your chakras. Lift out whatever's healthy and gentle to get rid of. Angels, here you go. You can just keep breathing, keep sending gold light. All right, good job. So now we'll do the 5th essential, 5, not 10, the 5th essential, which is all this back of head stuff. So specifically, okay, so as I said in the intro, we're going to repeat the 5 auras part back here. We're going to especially unblock 5 of your 17 auras back here. And it's not a mystery which 5, it's just based on which meridians go here through the base of skull area. Plus astral and physical body auras are always important. So that the midline, that meridian, governing vessel meridian, so that's why that's in the list. And then the yellow lines right there, that's urinary bladder meridian, starts in the corner of the eye, goes back, and then divides from 2 into 4 and goes down your back in really cool looking lines and little zigzags, and then goes down the back of your leg. But we're not going to do that part. We'll just do the base of skull area. And then gallbladder, meridian is that the blue-green one that you see right there, and going through the base of skull area, the outer part of the base of skull area. So anyway, so let's get going. So I've already described the base of skull points. They're meridians, right? These are meridians, and then the dots are chakras. So on the diagram, they're dots, but really they're like mini versions of this, right? And so they fit right into the meridian, and they help keep the energy flowing within the meridian itself. And you don't have to know the direction of flow of any meridian, just use gold light. You could use also red earth energy to heal any of these meridians. And there are different colors in the diagram, just so you can tell them apart. But red is a good energy color for any body meridian. So as you imagine the energy, if it's white, if it's black, if it's silver, that is not good. Right? Those could be invasive beings, or it could just be really beat up from someone throwing energy at them. So just keep using gold light and red earth energy to repair. And like I said, we're going to be repairing 5 auras back here. The auras go all around you like a giant sphere. However, this part that's right behind the base of skull area, that's most responsible for protecting this area. So you just, as you're working these base of skull points and these base of skull meridians, comb through outward to especially those 5 auras. I mean, all 17 are important, but especially those 5. Just double check that they're okay. They're not too blocked. They have lots of flowy gold light. They're not ripped up. You can drag out, comb through your head outward through the auras, drag out a healthy and gentle amount of junk to get rid of at one time. Use so much gold light that you melt it all away. Drag through your head, through the auras, get the healthy and gentle amount of junk. Use so much gold light that it melts away. You can also make a red grounding just for this base of skull area, going all the way down to the core of the earth, just all the way from the core of the earth upward to your base of skull area. And you can just encourage yourself to let go. You can even use affirmations, I'm going to let go. I need to let go. I am letting go. I'm letting go of my stressors. I'm letting go of the overthinking. I'm letting go of the denial. I'm letting go of other people's baggage that I took on. You want the meridians to be like red flowy tubes that feel very flexible and kind of plump, not like tight and hard. So use so much gold light that they get nice and flowy and flexible. Sometimes if they're really messed up, they look all blackened and they look like split open, like a banana split or something. You know, they're like split open and all leaky. You don't want that. Just use so much gold light that they repair. And if you can't see, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Just use gold light enough until you feel like, okay, that's enough. I did it. Vision comes with time and it's satisfying, but it's not necessary. All right, so then good karma windows is that GKW part that I wrote right there. And GKW stands for good karma windows. And it's just my name for the stuff back here in your astral body aura. There are 7 kind of passageways or back doors to your astral body aura back here, 1 in each astral body aura layer. They look like triple frame windows. So this is the basic shape of each one of them. And they'd be the different colors of each of your auras, you know, your energy within each aura. So red, orange, yellow, light blue, red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple. So 7 good karma windows. So you just don't want them bashed up and blocked up and, you know, with a lot of cords from invasive beings and people. So you just want to repair them with gold light. You could bring up red earth energy, soak them in red earth energy, repair them with gold light, and melt away everything that's not you. And if you tend to find that you have invasive beings or invasive people around your good karma windows, it's usually because there's damage there, which is why, you know, it makes energy leak and it makes them easily accessible and cordable. So just once you wash everybody out of the way, just do the repair so that they're not attracting invasive energy so much anymore. And if you feel like, Janet, I know I repair them perfectly, and then, you know, 2 minutes later, they're all destroyed again, you know, ask yourself if maybe emotionally or physically you have other things going on that's taxing your boundaries. If your boundaries are a house of cards, even though you're doing good repair all the time, something else is going on. You know, you've got you have some physical issues you're not addressing, and or some psychological, mental, emotional issues you're not addressing adequately. Because, you know, being energetically safe should not be a full-time job, right? Just a way to get more out of your life. So we're repairing good karma windows and just melting away stuff that's not yours that might be jammed up there. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my good karma windows, can you recycle them, please? Some people have some damage from the winter holidays that we just had. Some people they were with maybe or they weren't with were a little triggered and throwing energy. Holidays can be hard for people. You know, they could be trigger like subconscious baggage. Can make people more invasive and aggressive subconsciously. So again, double check those 5 auras behind the base of your skull area all the way out to the edge of the auras. Check for major blocks that you need to melt away. I had used the expression during the last set of last year because sometimes, holidays people give gifts. And so I kind of did a play on that, like sort of a dark humor play on that. And we cleared crappy gifts from different auras. So you can clear crappy gifts in these, especially these 5 auras back here. So do you have any crappy gifts from somebody back here? And just melt them away. Use so much gold light, melt cords from the gift giver, and melt the gift away. Gifts, is kind of sarcastic. Sometimes people can dump energy back there and it can be very insulting and rude and oppressive energy. Or it could be that they meant well, but they just don't understand boundaries and that their energy doesn't, function in your space. But anyway, just find a crappy gift in the auras behind your head and just use so much gold light that you melt it away. Find a crappy gift. So much gold light, you melt it away. Find another crappy gift. So much gold light, it's all gone. You can give yourself a little massage back here. Check that red grounding. Remake it if you need to. For the base of your skull area. You say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my base of skull area, can you recycle them, please? A little bit of healing on your spine. And again, energy healing is not all your spine needs sometimes. Sometimes you might need a chiropractor. Energy healing is not magic. Sometimes things get so out of whack. You need a physical level actual practitioner to address the issue for you. Of course, if you do enough gentle stretching on a regular basis, that may not be as frequently necessary, but you could need a chiropractor just because of energy attacks. That's possible. So even if you're living right and stretching and hydrating and all that, you still might need a chiropractor now and then. So again, I'm just doing energy healing along the spine, the vertebrae, spinal cord. All right, deep breath. All right, good job, good job. Woo! Yay! Okay, so let me change the scenery. So just so you can see it fully in case you want to, this is an image of nasturtium leaves, which are edible, fun fact. And the ladybugs, which are not edible, I think. Anyway, that's nasturtium leaves. Very pretty, in my opinion. I didn't show them long enough. There we go. Take a good look. All right. Okay, so we're gonna do 8 different mind garden video sections that later will become chapters by late tomorrow. Video chapters, so you can hop around and see them all. It'll be delightful. But this is the first of the 3 that will help you to clear denial, which is awesome to clear. Really helpful, even if you don't know that it's an issue for you because of the nature of denial. So they're all going to be mind gardens. So if you don't like gardens, use beaches or rivers, whatever floats your boat. But for mind garden, you just imagine 2 gardens that represent your mind. One garden represents your subconscious mind, and one garden represents your conscious mind. And they're connected to each other, and there's a gold flowy force field in between the 2. Which may not look gold because maybe there's all sorts of junk in it, so it's all blackened and hard, but it should be gold and flowy force field between your subconscious mind garden and your conscious mind garden, right? You can just get acquainted with your mind gardens and the barrier between your mind gardens and use lots of gold light. And you want a barrier between your subconscious and your conscious mind, but you want it to be gold and flowy so that you're able to know what you're meant to know at a healthy and gentle pace, right? So just use gold light throughout. And you don't have to see, you can just imagine, or just, even if you don't feel imaginative, even just do it anyway and it'll help. Right? So lots of gold light. You can bring up red or blue earth energy for your mind, right? Not for everything that you have, but just your mind gardens. Blue earth energy is really nice for the mind because it relates most to the 5th chakra. 5th chakra, good color is blue. Yada yada. But anyway, blue earth energy just for your mind gardens and the divider in between them. Lots of gold light. So that bringing the blue earth energy up to soothe your mind is called a blue soak. And then you can leave that up or not, whatever you prefer, the blue earth energy. But so now we will clear denial. It will look for what's creating denial in your mind about lifestyle changes that would be really helpful for you to make. So is there anything in either of the gardens or in the barrier that that keeps you in denial about lifestyle changes, how to make them, what changes that you need to make? So just, let your mind imagine some junk in those gardens that shouldn't be there. That is a healthy and gentle amount of denial that you can clear that will help you have clarity about lifestyle changes. Right? So just imagine whatever lifestyle baggage, let's call it, is in your mind gardens and just melt it away with gold light. And once again, just imagine your mind gardens and imagine some junk that's in either or both of your mind gardens that causes you to be in denial about lifestyle changes that you need to make. Which ones you should make, when you should make them, how you should make them, all the details. What denial do you have blocking you? And just imagine the denial as objects, and you can lift those objects out if you prefer. And as you do this, you can always intuit like who this denial, who this baggage is from, what this energy is from. Is it some invasive beings? Is it, your sister you don't get along with, your sibling you don't get along with? You don't have to know who it is, but it's kind of a little more fun that way if you can intuit that. But just use gold light and melt the energy away, or gold fire, whatever amuses you, just to melt it completely, right? So again, lift out lifestyle change baggage out of your mind gardens. Lift it out. Use so much gold fire that it's all gone. Lift out the lifestyle change baggage. And you could also wrap it in gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? Lots of options. Extra gold light. And a lot of times denial will be in this flowy force field in between the subconscious and conscious mind, like sort of keeping things from flowing forward to your consciousness that would really help you, and you're ready to know. So just melt away any junk from your gold flowy barrier, your mind barrier, right? Any junk that is keeping you in denial about lifestyle changes that's healthy and gentle to melt away. Go ahead and melt that out of your mind barrier. All right, good job. Of course, you can keep doing this later because, healthy and gentle amount. There may be more to do later. So you can just say, I'm going to let my angels help me with this later if I need it. Okay, so another type of denial that we can clear is denial around physical body care. That includes doing whatever it takes to get enough proper quality sleep. Includes hydration. It could include physical, appointments with actual practitioners like chiropractors, dentists, massage therapists. It could include, finding a yoga YouTube channel and doing some stretching along with a video, or, walk yourself through stretching, or going on walks, physical body care, eating, maybe you need to tweak what you eat for dinner at night so you sleep better, maybe, all sorts of things, right? So any physical body care that you need to be doing, that maybe you're not doing, or do it differently, you might have some denial about that. And that is in the way of you taking action, right? So just imagine your gardens, your mind gardens, with your flowy boundary in between the mind gardens. So you have your subconscious mind, a garden for your conscious mind, and then a gold flowy barrier in between, right? And you want to just use lots of gold light. And you can bring up blue earth energy straight from the core of the earth, just to soak your mind gardens with blue earth energy. Nice blue soak. And then just imagine, you can imagine them as physical objects in the gardens that shouldn't be there. Whatever's causing you to be in denial about physical body care, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. So imagine those physical objects, and you can lift them out and just burn them up with gold light if you want, or lift them out and melt them away with gold light, or lift them out, melt everybody out of them, and then blow them up. Or lift out some body care denial energy out and wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? Right? And of course, the gold flowy force field can have denial in it, definitely. Right? Keeping energy, knowledge, and clarity that's already in your subconscious mind from flowing into your conscious mind when you need it. Right? So maybe there's some energy in this gold flowy mind barrier that is not golden flowy, that doesn't belong there, right? So if you have any denial about physical body care in your mind barrier. Melt it away. So again, scoop out any objects in your gardens that represent things that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, that are currently causing you to be in some level of denial about physical body care. So lift out the denial objects that relate to physical body care and just wash everybody out of them with gold light from your hands. And you could blow them up. Lift out the physical body care denial stuff. Lift all that out. Angels, can you help me with this? Wash it all out. Anything, whatever's healthy and gentle to clear out of your mind barrier and your mind gardens, so that you're in less and less and less denial about physical body care. Doesn't mean that you feel ashamed or embarrassed or whatever. It just, you want clarity. You want non-judgment, clarity, and, clarity on even like baby steps. What can you do today? What can you do, before dinner? What can you do, So just, you want clarity so you can go ahead and melt denial about physical body care. Just lift out the denial objects and melt them away. And you can use your intuition for fun and see, well, who is all this junk from? Maybe it's baggage of yours from a past life. Maybe it's stuff from a family member or a former friend or something. So just as you do the mind garden, you could intuit that stuff if you want. Not necessary, but fun. So lift out the denial objects relating to physical body care. Use your intuition. Who's this stuff from? And just use lots of gold light and blow it up. And you could make up a couple affirmations regarding your body care. Again, this is not about shaming. This is not about, being perfect. So whatever, maybe, I love and value my physical body. My physical body is important to me. I value the health and wellness of my physical body. All right, good job, good job. And of course, you could use those specific affirmations or make your own. There's not a big deal what you do. Okay, so now the third and final sort of subgroup of denial that we're going to be clearing using mind garden technique is anything in the way of you having clarity with your mental well-being care and your emotional well-being care. So that could be, that you need to go to therapy, or could be just mean you need to do some journaling, or maybe you need to be more aware of like the music that you listen to or the news sources that you listen to, because people's states of mind can affect your state of mind, not in some kind of a voodoo controlling way, but just kind of like, if you're listening to someone who has some clarity and is a bit centered, it's easier for you to be clear and centered as you're listening. Not impossible to listen to a mentally frazzled person from a place of being centered. It's just easier if they're already kind of centered and then you're listening to that. So, being more aware of who you're listening to, what you're listening to, music, sounds, maybe your mind likes certain background music, bird sounds, different kinds of music sounds that can all really impact the state of your mind. And again, the state of your mind affects your energy boundaries, all interrelated. Of course, emotional care, you can ignore your emotions if you want, but it really can impact the strength of your energy boundaries and the level of energy safety that you have. So let's not ignore, right? So let's do, that was just explaining. So let's do, okay. So, so you have your mind gardens, right? One for your subconscious mind, one's for your conscious mind, and then a flowy mind barrier in between them that's gold and flowing. Right? And so just you can do a blue soak, bring up blue earth energy to soak your mind gardens and your mind barrier in blue earth energy. Breath, enjoy how that feels. And then we're going to be looking for any objects within your gardens that don't belong there, that are healthy and gentle to get rid of right now, that represent levels of denial, that might keep you in denial about your mental and emotional care that you need. So just lift out some objects in the way of your mental and emotional care, your clarity, your awareness of all that. And you can intuit who these energies are from. Maybe they're your past life baggage, maybe it's from a person that you know. And just use so much gold light that you melt it all away. So lift out the objects, the denial objects relating to your mind and emotional care. And just use so much gold light that you melt them away. All right. Gold light wash through the mind barrier, wash through both of your gardens. And again, be aware of the care that you need to be providing your mind to be well mentally and your emotions to be well emotionally, right? And maybe that care is from a practitioner. Maybe it's just your own self-care on a daily basis. So if there's any denial about that, just lift out that denial objects and just you can intuit who they're from for fun. And then just use so much gold light that you melt them away. Okay. Lift out any, and maybe there's some invasive beings in your mind gardens that keep you in denial about your mental and emotional care. So you could just kind of scoop all those invasive beings up into one little tornado and just say, angels, can you recycle all these beings? Again, scoop up all the invasive beings into one big tornado and hand it to your angels. Angels, can you recycle all those invasive beings? All right. So again, just gold light through your mind gardens and imagine some energy that's healthy and gentle to get rid of, that if you get rid of it, it will help you be more aware and be more able to take action about your own mental care, mental self-care, and emotional self-care. So scoop out your denial objects and melt them away with gold light, gold fire, till they're all gone. Do it again, scoop out the denial objects, and this time you could, if you want, just wrap them up in gold light and hand them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? All right, great job, good job. So that's enough clearing denial for now. Okay, so my wording is a little weird, but I don't have a lot of space, so forgive me. So here we're going to, again, use Mind Garden in 3 ways to clear fear. So the first fear that we're going to, kind of hone in on and remove from your mind to an extent that's healthy and gentle to do right now is the fear of being attacked or invaded. Like that maybe you have some resistance or fear about invasive people or invasive beings, or someone who's angry at you throwing energy. Maybe you have fear about that. Or maybe a physical attack. Maybe you have fear around being physically attacked because of some trauma that you have from this life, or, many past lives you might have trauma about that. So it's good to not keep the fear and just keep the wisdom and the knowledge, because the fear does not make you more ready for anything. It just drives you nuts, and it can harm your energy boundaries, the strength of your energy boundaries, if you don't clear enough of this stuff. So let's do it so that you can be strong. Okay, so I'm going to use mind gardens. If you don't like that, use beaches, rivers, whatever. But you can make one garden for your subconscious mind and one garden to represent your conscious mind, and have them be connected and separated by a flowy gold boundary, your mind barrier between your conscious and subconscious mind. And just use gold light. You can bring up blue earth energy straight from the core of the earth to soak your minds with blue earth energy. Soak the mind barrier, all of it with blue earth energy. It's called a blue soak for your mind. Couple deep breaths so you can feel how that feels. And we're going to be clearing fear, specifically fear that you have of maybe just subconsciously or consciously of being attacked, invaded, having your boundaries encroached, either physically or mentally or energetically, whatever, right? So just imagine those fears as objects that don't belong in your gardens. And you can surround them in gold light and lift them out. And you can use so much gold light that you fully melt them. If they don't fully melt, you can wrap them in gold light and hand them to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with these? Right? More gold light for your barrier, for your gardens. And again, we're going to look for any fear that you might have. It could just be someone else's fear that got dumped in the gardens. But fear of being attacked, invaded, fear of being disrespected, that kind of idea. And just imagine that fear as objects that don't belong in your mind gardens, and just surround them in gold light. You could melt them in place too if you want. You don't have to lift them out. Whatever amuses you. And again, you may have fear of being attacked in the mind barrier itself, in between the subconscious and conscious mind. So if you have any fear like that in your barrier, your mind barrier, just melt it away. All right, so again, look in your mind gardens for a healthy and gentle amount that you can clear right now of fear of being attacked, invaded, disrespected, all that kind of stuff. And just imagine them as objects, simple objects that you can surround with gold light and melt away. And the benefit of this, obviously, is that you feel less fear, that you feel more courageous, but you can also feel more calm and have better access to your wisdom when you don't have fear triggered. So, comb through both your gardens and just wash everything out that doesn't belong there, especially any fear of being attacked or invaded. All right, good job. So fear of failure, that's pretty common, of course, and it's easy to clear. So just imagine your mind gardens, right? 2 gardens, one representing your subconscious mind, one representing your conscious mind, and a gold flowy barrier between the two, connecting the two. And just imagine your gardens. You can bring up blue earth energy from the core of the earth. So both of them, both your both your conscious and subconscious mind with blue earth energy and your mind barrier in between them with the blue earth energy. Deep breath. And you could have invasive energy that sort of hypes up your fear of failure. It could be invasive energy, meaning like a sibling that has a very competitive nature with you, or, you know, somebody that you know that's very phobic, like maybe they're afraid on your behalf. You know, they mean well, but they worry about you, that kind of idea. So, or it could be invasive beings. So let's handle that first. Just any invasive energy that's not yours. So invasive beings, invasive people, causing you to have fear of failure. So you can just imagine them like, you know, tornadoes, like lumpy tornadoes, all this invasive energy that's not yours in your mind gardens. So just sweep all that together, wrap it up in so much gold light and hand it to your angels. Angels, can you deal with all that? So more gold light. Just imagine both gardens and notice, you know, has the garden changed and improved since you got rid of that invasive energy causing fear of failure in your gardens, right? Let's do that again. Imagine both your gardens and the mind barrier, and imagine some objects representing fear of failure. And you can lift out the objects if you want. And as you do that, just intuit, is this your past life baggage? Is it from somebody that you know? And then you can just use so much gold light that you melt them out of the objects, and use so much gold light that you melt the objects completely. Or if you prefer, you could blow them up if you're healing yourself. So again, gold light. You want to imagine both your mind gardens, see if there's any improvement now that you cleared some fear of failure. Take a deep breath, see if you feel any different, if your body feels any different. And again, imagine your gardens and the mind barrier, and imagine any fear of failure that is healthy and gentle to clear out right now from your mind gardens and the mind barrier. So just imagine that energy, the fear of failure energy, wrap it up in gold light, lift it out. You could use so much gold light that it fully melts. Or you can use so much gold light and then blow it up. Or use so much gold light and hand it to your angels. Angels, here you go. And again, feel how that feels. You have less fear of failure in your mind. Deep breath. See if your body feels different. Okay, so the third and final way that we'll clear fear using mind gardens today is has to do with group fear. So, in other words, maybe a bunch of family members are all nervous about something and you have some of their energy in your space, or you also have a shared fear, a similar fear to theirs, and it makes it hard to have boundaries with people that you share fears with. So it's easier to clear your matching fear, so then you can be separate and mellow and centered, even if they're not. And so the group could be everyone on the planet. The group could be everyone in your country, everyone in your political party, everyone in your family, everyone in your city, whatever. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to do it with mind gardens. You can do it with beaches or rivers if you don't like gardens. But you imagine one garden for your subconscious mind, one for your conscious mind, and the flowy barrier, gold flowy barrier in between them. Bring up red earth energy to blue earth energy to soak your mind gardens with blue earth energy. Deep breath. And you're going to look for matches or dumped energy, either way, but group fear. Group fear that's in your mind. So it could be just your fear, but it's in common with the group, or it could be actually dumped by the group into your mind. Either way. And just imagine all that fear, and you can lift it out and use so much gold light that you melt it away. So again, gold light through your mind gardens, through your mind barrier. Lift out the group fear. So much gold light, gold fire. Now it's gone, right? So lots of gold light through your mind gardens. You want to imagine any group fear, maybe just your fear that's matching the group, or fear that was dumped in your minds by the group, and lift all that out. That's healthy and gentle to get rid of. And use so much gold light to melt everybody out. And you could blow it up at that point, or just keep using gold light to fully melt it. And there can definitely be invasive energies involved in this one too. Reinforcing group fear. Could be invasive beings from that access a group of people. It could just be, an invasive person that is very motivated in other people feeling the same way. So just imagine in your mind gardens if there's any invasive energies of any sort, people or beings. People or beings with no bodies. Any invasive energy reinforcing group fear in your minds, and just imagine them and sweep it all together, all that invasive energy like one big tornado, and wrap it up in gold light, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? And sweep up any invasive energy like one big spinny dust bunny. Lift it out of your mind, give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So let your mind be as peaceful, as calm, as clear as you want it to be, as positive as you want it to be. All right, great job. Okay, so this section is a little similar because we just cleared out group pain, which could have been pain that was dumped in your, we just cleared out group fear. And it could have been fear that was actually dumped into your mind from others, or just stuff that you have in common with the group. So this is not just fear, it's just any kind of baggage that you picked up from other people, or any copies that you took on from other people. So some of that baggage could be repressed anger, or guilt, or maybe you took on shame. That's a common one. Maybe you took on depression or grief from somebody in your life. So it's sort of a catch-all for whatever junk is healthy and gentle for you to get rid of that's not yours, that you took on. And especially like childhood stuff, like your dad's grief, or your mom's fear, or your, mom's need to control everybody, whatever. So let's do it. So just imagine two gardens, one representing your subconscious mind, one representing your conscious mind. Have them be connected and separated by a flowy gold force field, so that you become aware of what you need to be aware of from your subconscious mind, all the clarity and knowledge that that you'll be able to become conscious of it at the right time. Right? And you can bring up blue earth energy from the core of the earth and soak your mind gardens and your mind barrier in blue earth energy. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel how that feels. Blue earth energy for your minds and your mind barrier. And then imagine like simple objects in the garden that don't belong there, other people's baggage or copies of other people's baggage that you took on. So maybe some people dumped them in, maybe you took on some copies yourself with your own initiative. But either way, it's not helping you. Time to get rid of it. So just scoop up what's healthy and gentle to get rid of, and you can melt it all away with gold light from your hands. You can scoop up more, just whatever's healthy and gentle to get rid of from your mind gardens. Other people's baggage or copies of other people's baggage. You could wrap it up in so much gold light and then give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this? You may have some invasive energies, either invasive people or invasive beings that contribute to this idea of you taking on and holding on to other people's baggage. So you can just sweep that up, kind of like you're sweeping up a floor, but it's really small and easy to do. And just sweep up any invasive energies in your minds that contribute to you holding on to other people's junk, right? And just scoop up all that invasive energy, make it like one big compact tornado, and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. So again, scoop up any invasive energy in your minds, scoop it together like a big compacted snowball, maybe. And give it to your angels. Angels, can you get rid of all that for me? Lots of gold light through your mind barrier, through both your mind gardens. Sometimes in a relationship, especially, I guess, an unsuccessful relationship, but even in a moderately healthy relationship, you can be taking on copies of other people's baggage, and it definitely doesn't help them, and it usually actually makes it harder for you to be around that person and for them to be around you. Not easier, because then you remind them of the stuff that they, their worst stuff. So it's no good. So just imagine both your mind gardens and your flowy gold mind barrier and scoop out whatever's healthy and gentle to get rid of other people's baggage, right? And then use so much gold light, gold fire, gold water that you melt it all away. Okay, so scoop all that out, whatever's other people's baggage that you're carrying in your mind that's healthy and gentle to get rid of. Use so much gold light that it melts away, right? And I think I started to say you might have some invasive energy that contributes to that. So just, we did it already, but let's do it one more time. So if you have invasive energy in either of your mind sections, that contributes to you being weighed down and, like habitually carrying other people's burdens, just scoop that invasive energy up and pack it in like a big snowball or a big, tornado, and just surround it in so much gold light that's easy to lift out and give to your angels. Angels, here you go. And you can also use an affirmation to kind of encourage and support yourself as you do this kind of work. Like, hey, it's okay to let go of other people's baggage. It's okay. Even if I love people, it's not helping them to smush my own mind over it. Right? You can be compassionate towards people without smushing your brain. Okay? So just you might need to remind yourself of that. Hey, I can love someone, I can care about someone and not carry their burdens. Or, people you don't particularly like, you definitely don't have to carry their burdens, right? But you might need to remind yourself of that. Right? Remind yourself, hey, I can let go of other people's baggage, right? And one more time, as you check out your mind gardens, just scoop up anybody else's baggage or copies of other people's baggage, like maybe your parents when you were growing up, just any junk from other people, their baggage. Wrap it up in so much gold light. Give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? All right, great job. So then we just have one more section to do. How exciting is that? Okay. So this one, I slightly expanded it from what I was going to do. I was going to do it just with getting rid of repressed anger in your mind. But we can do repressed emotional baggage of any sort that's healthy and gentle for you to get rid of, including your repressed anger. So just imagine your mind gardens, one garden for your subconscious mind, one garden for your conscious mind, and a gold flowy barrier in between them. And just use so much gold light to start to heal them. And you can bring up blue earth energy straight from the core of the earth to soak your minds in blue earth energy. Deep breath, feel how that feels. And you may have a little bit of repressed emotional baggage. If you're upset at the moment, it could be unrepressed and in your conscious mind garden. Or if you're not conscious of it, then it would be in your subconscious mind garden, right? So we could just look for any baggage, including the repressed stuff that is like secretly hidden away in your subconscious mind garden, right? So be aware of whatever baggage is, and you don't have to feel it. That's the beauty of it. Just imagine it like objects and get rid of the objects. Easy peasy, right? So imagine the objects that represent your repressed emotional baggage and just that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, and lift out those objects and just use so much gold light, gold fire, gold water, melt everybody out of them, melt the objects themselves till they're gone, right? So you didn't have to feel a thing. Deep breath. You can be aware of your grounding, big grounding, nice flowy grounding, red or orange or yellow. All right, and gold light through your mind gardens. And again, be aware of, keep it simple. Just imagine simple objects that don't belong in these gardens that represent your emotional baggage. Some of it deeply repressed, some of it triggered. And just find the objects that represent your emotional baggage and lift them out. And use so much gold light that they melt away fully. Take a deep breath. See how that is to have less emotional baggage polluting your mind. Lots of gold light through your mind barrier, gold light through the gardens. One last time for the moment. Imagine what's healthy and gentle to get rid of from your minds as far as emotional baggage. So repressed anger, repressed sadness, repressed whatever. Just imagine the objects and lift them out. And use so much gold light, you're melting everybody out of them, and you melt the objects fully. Okay. I said that was the last time, but I can't resist one more. Okay, so emotional baggage objects, lift them out, wrap them up in gold light, give them to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with these, please? And you might have some invasive energy in your gardens, kind of promoting this whole stuck emotional junk, right? Like fueling your anger or fueling your sadness. So just imagine whatever invasive energies, people or beings or whatever, and just sweep them all together, like one big snowball or one big tornado, and just pack it all up. Use so much cold light surrounding the invasive energy, and that it's easy to lift out and give to your angels. Angels, here you go. One more time, sweep up invasive energy in your mind gardens that contribute to you holding on to repressed garbage, right? And just wrap it all up like a big snowball or a big tornado. Use so much gold light, lift it out, give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with all that? And there you go. Notice how much nicer your gardens are. Take a deep breath. Get a sense of your mind. Get a sense of your body. And comb through all your auras. Get a sense of your auras now that you worked your mind more and released some burdens and strengthened your mind. Get a sense of if your auras are stronger now. All right. Yay, great job. You are such a rock star. Woohoo, yay, good job, good job. So that was a million different things that we cleared with the mind garden exercise. Good job. Okay, so this is the final major exercise that we're doing in this healing. And it's couldn't be easier. We're going to imagine a river that represents your ability to process your own emotions. So like rather than just, be all stuck and not be able to handle new events in your life or not be able to let go of old emotional baggage. We want to be able to process emotion and just, at a healthy and gentle pace. So you're fully functional, but, each day you're a little less emotionally stuck, more emotionally strong and well, right? Because that helps your physical health. It helps your energy boundaries. It helps your auras get stronger. It helps everything, right? So just imagine a river out in front of you that represents your ability to process your own emotions and see, is it blocked? And anywhere it's blocked, just use lots of gold light. You can use red earth energy. You could use orange earth energy too, because orange is a good second chakra color. And second chakra is for emotions and sexuality and sensuality. So you can use red and orange earth energy. You can use gold light and just check out this river. And you can just imagine it, even if you can't see energy. And if you don't like the river metaphor, you could use a garden. But I like the river because the flow. If it's flowing, then okay, you're able to process at a reasonable pace your new emotional experiences and, get through your past backlog of stuck emotion. Right? So just see as your river flowing. And if not, find the biggest clog and just start working on it. Lots of gold light. And you want to see what's healthy and gentle to work on right now, so that if you unclog everything you see, that it's still healthy and gentle, right? So you want a certain, you're envisioning a certain level of, it's like you're childproofing, your own energy work. So your emotions processing river is, well, I think it's healthy and gentle naturally because this is your ability. The river represents your ability to process emotion. And if you have a clog, maybe there's somebody courting right there, or maybe some hard objects from somebody. And don't get too caught up in like, oh, this other person, blah, blah, blah. Stay focused on the river, but it can be interesting, as you melt clogs and, melt away hard objects if you notice who the stuff is from. It can also be interesting too to just breathe and notice how your body feels during the process. If at all, anytime you feel uncomfortable or spacey, you can always redo your grounding, a nice big wide grounding, red or orange or yellow, and then bring up earth energy, do a earth energy soak your whole space with red or orange or yellow earth energy. And then just go back to the unblocking the emotional processing river. And you just want to do it until you feel like, okay, I've done enough for now. This is healthy and gentle. And if you have any invasive energies that are interfering with your emotional processing, you can imagine them like tornadoes on your river. And say, angels, can you recycle these invasive energies? And you can find, maybe some of the blocks look like big rocks. You could melt away some big rocks in your emotional processing river. Maybe some of the blocks look like a dam. Maybe you have a dam blocking part of the flow of your emotional processing river. You can just use lots of gold light. Melt it away. Again, the river represents your ability to process emotion. Doesn't mean that, oh my God, now I'm going to feel emotion all the time, 24/7, and that's all I'm going to think about. And if you notice some blocks, you could also, as you're clearing it, just to keep things interesting, think of, oh, well, when did this, like maybe you notice a lot of mud at the bottom of the emotional processing river, and maybe that mud is from when you were a certain age, and that could be interesting. Just don't make it as an excuse, like, oh, so much terrible stuff happened, I'm definitely not going to be able to clear that. Don't use it as like, don't get overly attached to your history. Just read it as like, oh, that's interesting, and just take your time and use gold light to melt it away. All right. So take some deep breaths. See how your body feels now. What we can do too as a companion to this is we can clear STEBs. Especially if you feel uncomfortable at all right now, we'll clear STEBs, but just it's always nice to do. So STEB stands for stubborn triggered energy blocks. So it's just whatever blocks are triggered, making you uncomfortable on any level. So you can pile copies of those blocks, energy blocks, out in front of you, and use red earth energy. Soak them, bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth. Soak them in red earth energy, and use gold light from your hands to melt cords going into these blocks from other people or from yourself. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive energies connected to these blocks, can you recycle them, please? And then you can just use so much gold light that these blocks melt away. And if they don't melt away, you can wrap them up in gold light and hand them to your angels. Angels, can you help me with these? So we'll do that one more time. Just pile out in front of you copies of any energy blocks that are still triggered right now. And bring up red earth energy from the core of the earth to soak these blocks in the red earth energy. And use gold light from your hands and melt away cords from other people, cords from you going into these blocks. Use gold light, gold fire, gold water, and just melt the blocks away. Also, you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings hooked into these blocks, can you recycle them? And just keep using gold light. And if some of it's not melting, just wrap it up in gold light. Hand it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? So, we're pretty much almost done. You can just imagine your everything, a copy of your everything out in front of you. So all your 17 auras all around you. Your body, your physical body, and your astral body are inside of those auras. And comb through your legs. That could be nice. Comb through your physical legs and your astral body legs. With gold light, unblock your legs. You want to be able to feel like you're really sitting in your legs. So like, you know, as if you put pant legs on, when you put pant legs on, it's like that. You want your astral body legs to fit fully into your physical feet and your physical legs. If not, just do a little bit extra unblocking of your major joints and your legs. Maybe some unblocking in front of your tummy. You can run gold light up and down your spine, a nice big wide band of gold light to help your chakras align, your major chakras along your spine. You redo your gold buffer zones, which are big gold force fields on the edge of your, that you make on the edge of your physical body aura and your astral body aura. And as we wrap up, you could just say, hey, angels, can you help me wrap up this healing? And angels, can you help me to be decisive? Angels, can you help me with clarity and action? And angels, can you help me to have strong boundaries with group fear? Deep breath. All right, good job, good job. Woohoo, that's a healing. You're amazing. Woohoo. Yay. Okay, so the healing is done. And so I'm going to take a restroom break. You can too. And then I'll come back, turn the camera back on, and do just a minute or two of stretching. You could too if you want. You don't have to copy my stretching, though. I'm not like an expert or anything, and everybody's body's different anyway. But then we'll do a brief Q&A. So you could post if you want a comment, and I'll read it during the Q&A. Like if you have a comment about how the healing was for you, or a comment about the themes of the healings this month. Okay, so I will be back very shortly. Hey, I'm back. So, just gonna do a minute or two of stretching, and then we'll do the Q&A. So again, you do not have to copy me. Do your own stretching if you wish. Optional, of course. I just broke my glasses. They're cheap, don't worry. I got to get my other pair of glasses. It'll just take me a sec. They're right over there. Hello, hello. I hope you had a good break. Alrighty. Okie dokie. So, it's making me oh, there we go. Okay, good. My sound is okay. I was so nervous for a second. All right. Let's see. Looking for the comments I haven't read yet. So it's his first time joining. Well, welcome, welcome. I do 5 of these live streams every month. They're group healings. Do 5 of them each month. There's a set of 3. This is the first in the set of 3, and then there's a set of 2 healings called so there's a triplet set and then the twin set, and I sell. I mean, the knowledge is free, the teaching is free, the self-healing walkthrough is free, but for the people that I'm healing, I'm selling the healing, so I heal the people that purchase the healing on my website. My website is jwhealing.com, like the YouTube channel. And anyone can purchase a set of healings if they wish, for themselves or a loved one or both. Let's see. So it says, thank you, Janet. Was feeling really lonely until we got to the emotions river. Isn't that funny? I felt that that's towards the very end, the emotional processing river that we unblocked, your ability to process emotion represented as a river. I felt that release very physically too. Also, think the loneliness is the back of my fourth chakra all busted up. I met with a friend, and you give his initials. Thank you. That's always helpful to me. A male friend who does recruiting today, and I'm going to start networking for jobs as job applications aren't getting any responses. Am I reading it right? That gallbladder meridian Wei Chi aura unblocking would help with this. Well, yeah, I mean that's a nice pick. Gallbladder meridian helps with self-assertiveness. I mean, all the meridians help with like 20 gazillion things. But yeah, I mean, your gallbladder meridian is, goes down the side of the body. For those that don't know, there's a 12 meridian playlist, that they're not my videos, but they, go through all the meridians. I grouped them into a playlist in the order of flow. And that playlist, the 12 meridian playlist, is linked in the info section of this live stream. The 12 meridian playlist. But anyway, so gallbladder meridian, GB, is one of those. You can watch the video if you want of that meridian. And each meridian has its own Wei Chi aura that helps nurture and nourish and protect that meridian. So yeah, your gallbladder meridian is the Wei Chi aura is fairly blocked. The meridian itself, yeah, it does seem like it doesn't have a lot of energy. It starts out kind of weak, and then it gets weaker as it goes. It goes through the side of the head and stuff. It just seems like maybe like there's only like about 35% of the energy flow that would be ideal for it. So I would say, yes, unblock, but also like maybe work the chakras a little. You don't have to know which chakras are the weakest or anything. You can just sort of imagine, like right there, the gallbladder one, that's the darker green one, the wider arc around the ear and along the hairline, goes up and back. So it's kind of blocked at the start, but then like around the hairline, it gets especially blocked, and around the wide arc of the ear, it's like super blocked. So part of that is the aura for it, but then part of it's just right there in the points themselves. You could do both, because I think that's really where it kind of locks up, and then it's just like so depleted as it goes down the side of your body. So you can work there first, like the auras and there first, just to see if that opens up because these chakras, they keep the energy flowing, but they also generate energy, like more volume of energy. So hopefully you work that, the volume of energy will pick up, so it doesn't seem so like anemic. That could be nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, self-assertiveness, I can see how that would help with job applications and stuff, because it's a big, self-assertive thing to be like, hey, you need me in your company. Oh yeah, sounds cool. Loneliness, fourth chakra, is always a thing. Loneliness blocks are often fourth chakra related blocks. The back of your fourth chakra does seem to be kind of clogged, a little damaged. Yeah, you're right, in the back. That's accurate. Your physical fourth, your astral body fourth chakra seems to be flowing really well out the back. What's interesting too is maybe urinary bladder meridian in the back here. That was nice. I didn't have to fumble with the image for 20 minutes. It just happened to be showing what I wanted. I mean, this screen is supposed to be urinary bladder and kidney, so it wouldn't have been terrible if it showed the other one, but this is ideal. So anyway, but I think your urinary bladder meridian gets kind of blocked, like mid back down to like all the butt points. It's pretty blocked there, so I think you actually have damage there in the back that didn't get fully repaired, even in this amazing healing you just got. So yeah, like right around like here, your urinary bladder meridian, Wei Qi aura. So like that part of your meridian. For those that don't know, it's the yellow meridian right there. That's urinary bladder meridian. It starts in the inner corner of the eye, goes down the back of the leg. But yeah, I would say that too. I don't know if that directly relates to jobs, but I mean, that one goes through the, around the fourth chakra. And I think it like you got some damage to that aura and those branches of your Wei Qi or of your urinary bladder meridian at the same time that you got that chakra damage back there to your physical body chakra. So yeah, good read. All right. Someone says, thanks, Janet. I feel pretty calm for the level of critical illness I'm taking care of tonight. Critical illness. I mean, you are in the health field, so I'm not sure if you're talking about your own illness or your patients. Maybe your patients? Am I in 7 through 1? Lately, I've been doing shoulder, neck unblocking. Oh, that's cool. To help me at work. Continued below. Think it's helping me move forward on my path. Accurate. How did my spouse do? Bet this was big for him. Thanks. He always loves the mind stuff, he says. I love the mind stuff too. I could do that blue soak thing forever. I love that thing. Blue earth energy soak of the mind gardens. Like but anyway, are you in 7 through 1? Yes, you are. Your first chakra seems a little like there's like about 15% white energy coming through your first chakra. Only physical first chakra, like on the left side. So if this is the front of your physical first chakra, it's like right here. I think there's a little damage right here. And so you have a couple cords cording right there. And then some white energy coming in the front. So just a little extra for chakra repair and a little detaching of cords. I think it's people. But yeah, you are in 7 through 1. That may be why you were questioning it though, because of that discomfort there at your first chakra level. But yeah. I think the mind work is helping you to the shoulder work. I mean, God, how could that not help? Unblocking shoulders frequently, that's great. Shoulders help with manifesting. They help with so much. Help with being an energy badass. Over neck unblocking, that's great. Is that helping you to move forward on your path? Yes, absolutely. Gallbladder meridian is nice too. I mean, gallbladder meridian is for self-assertiveness, but I don't know. It just comes up that gallbladder meridian would be nice for you too. So that's the one I just was showing. The side, it starts in the corner of the eye. It's one of the base of skull meridians, that outermost base of skull meridian. So it zigzags, the wide arc around the ear and then goes down the sides of the body. So you could add that one to your frequent list, because yours right now is fine, but it gets a little scooped out and blocked on the sides. the gallbladder meridian on the sides, the Wei Chi aura on the sides, and then the meridian itself. It's better than it has been because you've been doing the shoulder work and it does go through the shoulder area. But then down by the sides of the body, it still gets a little sluggish because of the auras get ripped up around your side. The Wei Chi or the gallbladder meridian Wei Chi aura. Yeah. But yeah, your spouse did well, and he loves the mind stuff. I do too. So I skipped over somebody to read both parts of that, I think. So I will go back, make sure I didn't miss somebody's comment. Okay, somebody says, thank you so much, Janet. Awesome healing for a new year. Yes, it's a good vibe for the new year. I've had lots of fun with Wei Chi aura healings, but there are days that I can't meditate at all. Sitting is the hardest. I think I was missing the body care. So I bought a yoga online membership, and I'm exercising lightly in the morning, hoping to add more. Would this help my progress? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people really underestimate, maybe because I don't talk about it as much as I should, how it's a really big thing. And especially, I mean, yoga is like, I don't know, I'm not an expert in yoga, but I mean, presumably it's designed to help the chakras and the body. But either way, I mean, even if you just did stretching that was not technically yoga, it's still going to definitely help the body. And then it's definitely going to help your energy and your flow and your presence and everything. A big deal. Because then it helps your muscles, and then it helps, your brain, and the big ripple effect. So yeah, big deal. Good big deal. Great job. Yeah. And, just to mention for other people, you don't have to buy stuff necessarily to do stretching. You can find videos, you can find people with free YouTube videos and stuff. I mean, obviously, if you buy into something, maybe there's some extra structure and monitoring, and you might feel, extra value from that. But just so people don't say, oh, well, yeah, I barely have money for blah, 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 so I definitely don't have money for yoga, So there's all sorts of free stuff involved for mental and emotional care, as well as physical body care. You don't have to wait until you have the perfect day and the perfect amount of money and the perfect amount of time. And, there's little things you can build into your day, like deep breaths, etc., journaling. So yeah, cool. Someone says, thank you for the healing, Janet. I was thinking, I'm feeling all right. And then I was like, I bet Janet started the healing. LOL. The emotional processing river and physical needs seem especially timely. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad. Good. Someone says, Tuesday night, I couldn't sleep after talking on the phone with my dad. He was talking about his debt, and I started spiraling in extreme anxiety. Yeah. But healed myself and feel great by today. Well, good job. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I mean, funny, interesting, not exactly funny, haha, but yeah, we'll see. Now, I mean, you can like do the mind garden thing and take your dad's anxiety about money out of your mind garden, and just keep doing that, and heal your mind garden. Because, sometimes people dump into other people's space because they're trying to get a point across, or they want the person to know how they feel or something, and sometimes they don't even know they're doing it. I think with your dad, he kind of is attached to wanting you to think exactly the way he thinks. So I think he's a bit of a dumper because of that. He doesn't really think of it as a negative, though. He thinks that if you think how he thinks, then you'll be better off. So he's dumping his pain into your space for your own good. So anyway, you can thank him, but still clear it out. But that's cool that you were able to go from extreme anxiety to getting your head on straight again. Good job. Good job. Good job. Someone says, "Hi, Janet. I missed the live healing, unfortunately. Well, it did get videotaped, so it's okay. When studying this morning, was unable to read clearly and comprehend meaning of the questions due to intrusive thoughts." Yeah, that's always a trip when you're just too distracted. We'll do more blue soak. Blue soak is so nice for the mind, conscious, subconscious, and do 7th, 8th chakra and link. Really trying to deal with this concentration issue when under pressure. Yeah. I think too, a couple times as we were doing that mind garden work, we were clearing out invasive energies. And I just said, gather them up like a big snowball or like a big tornado and compress it, and wrap it in gold light and then just give it to your angels. So invasive energy includes like your mom chattering at you, your dad, whoever's camping out in your brain, so, and also invasive beings. So that might be a nice thing, blue soak, and then just get together all the invasive energy, give it to your angels. Pack up a snowball of invasive energy, give it to your angels. But I think also if you could maybe build more stretching into your day, because you do seem to be tightly wound, sort of like emotionally, like it's like you're trying to have peace, but underneath it is like you're tied up in knots, and I think part of that is like a physical thing. So I don't know if you've ever considered journaling, or maybe just going on more walks or doing stretching or any of the above or something like that, because it just seems like mental calm, sometimes an absence of, sometimes your boundaries are weaker because of, the physical stuff, like it's just you're too tense, or yeah. So maybe stretching or journaling or walking or something. I know you've been working on a little bit of that already. But maybe, if you're like trying to focus for like 10 minutes and it's not working, maybe just do some quick stretching or some quick something, and then get back to it. Anyway, I hope that helps. I think some of your auras were not repaired fully when you were having all those invasive thoughts. So if you don't want to do like aura repair, you could do like last healing we did, what was that thing? Chaos boundary wall, where you just imagine all your boundaries represented by a gold flowy wall, and then you just, repair the wall, and that represents chakras and auras and meridians and whatever, and grounding and blah blah blah. So maybe a chaos boundary wall thing would be nice, because it seems like when you couldn't focus this morning, you had significant aura damage to like at least 4 or 5 different auras. I think maybe sometimes when you feel really awful, then you're like, okay, I'm sure I have aura and chakra damage. But if you just feel halfway decent, but very scattered and distracted, you assume it's not aura damage. You just assume like, I'm a loser and I can't focus. But no, you're not a loser. You have aura damage. Maybe you can write that on your, notepad, your study book, No, I'm not a loser. I have aura damage. If I can't focus, it's not because I'm a loser. It's because I have aura damage. All right. I hope that helps. All right. Moving on. Someone says, thank you so much. I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed with a headache. But from looking, so you're looking at yourself, the overwhelmed part is the kids, and the headache may be a whack from a different thing, maybe my sister. And you give me her initials. How charming. That's always so much easier. When I think of her, I see a bunch of flame between us. I thought about park benching, but seems like it's a lot more deep and that wouldn't help. Well, park benching would come after the repair. You don't want to be all beat up and leaking energy and try to have diplomacy talks with somebody who's been whacking you, Yes, I do think it's your sister. I think that's accurate. One, I don't need that graphic to stay up there. Let's see. So, oops. Okay. So, I think, sometimes people are like, well, I don't know who did it, and you did accurately read that. But I was thinking just like a fun way of doing it is if you like roll back the tape to like when the whack happened, when like your auras started getting into this big giant valley of ripped out yuckiness, and like you have like your basic suspects, and you think, okay, well, when that was happening, where was, my birth father? Was he right there or was he far away minding his own business, and just have it be like really obvious. He's either right there or he's far away, not thinking of you. Where was this other lady who whacks me a lot? Was she right there or was she far away? And so it's like you're looking at like the scene of the crime, like say the jewelry store window. When the jewelry store got broken, who's there standing right there with a brick in their hand, Right? And so you just like test out your major suspects and be like, oh, no, they were minding their own business at the moment. Oh, they were minding they're the one with the brick right there. So it's, I don't know, it just makes it kind of interesting to know who and to, have fun with that. But then, don't harm them at all. That'll really make things worse and wreck your karma. So, if they're still around you, though, maybe a fun thing to do, you could just ask your angels to sort of cart them away with some golden handcuffs. If the angels, could you remove that person? And then it's not forever, but at least for now. So then you can just, in case they're still trying to whack you as you're trying to repair, But another thing you could try too is like say, like the other day I noticed that these two people that generally they kind of team up and whack me at the same time, and they had just started to make like some damage. It wasn't that deep yet. It was pretty shallow. And if it's real deep already and they're all in there, like one fun thing to do is you can like surround, if they're totally, this part of them is completely in your space, you can make a big gold bubble around them and just hand them in the bubble to your angels. Be like, angels, here you go. Like, hand them off, you know, don't keep it, don't do anything to them, but just, you know, kind of like put them in a gold bubble and give them to your angels. That's kind of fun, you know? Or, but if they're just like, they're not much in your space, they're just barely in your space, but they're certainly trying to be, then what you could do is you could make like, you could so if they're not much in your space, they're barely in your auras yet, but you know they're like, you could see them like hacking away, you know, just make a gold sandstorm, like a 10-foot, you know, gold sandstorm around the outer perimeter of your space. So it's like spinning bits of gold light, and it's just gold light, and it's just immediately around your space. So you're not like going to them or anything. It's just like around you, right? But so much gold spinning light or gold fire, gold water, it just like pops them out. Like boop, pops them out. But it's just gold light, so it doesn't harm them, but it'll generally, it'll be like very like surprising for them, and they'll just like, you know, like flicks them back to their own space. But don't flick them, because that's a whack. You'll probably harm them that way, and that's bad karma for you. So, but the gold force field, you know, the gold fire or gold water or something will just like, you know, or gold what is that one? Sandstorm. Yeah, so spinning bits of gold light all around you really fast. You know, that'll like that'll kind of pop them away. So that's fun. Oh gosh. But yeah, later, once it's all repaired and she's away and you feel like it, you could do like you could do, you know, like what is that called? I didn't mute, did I? Did I just mute? I don't think I did. No. Okay, good. Angel assisted conflict resolution flowers. You can make energy healing flowers for your sister and tune them to just the right vibration, and like put a message in it like, hey, you know, karma's real. I think it's better for both of us if we just forget about each other for a while, you know, and then just tune it to like some vibration that maybe she'd be able to understand, and then give it to your angels and just say, angels, can you fix this if needed, and only deliver it to her if it'll help. That's the gist of angel assisted conflict resolution flowers, which is a short video in my short video playlist featured on my YouTube channel page. The short videos playlist called AA conflict resolution flowers, AA for angel assisted. But yeah, so it's a whack from bunch of wax from your sister. Your grounding, the back of your grounding is blocked. Your kids are in the back of your grounding. You're not so much in your legs. I mean, you're in more in your legs than you were for sure. But do you have a mother-in-law? Is she living? I don't remember, but it kind of seems like you're sitting on this white chair, like this white high-backed chair. That's your mother-in-law's energy in like the back of your first layer of your aura. So if your mother-in-law is not in the lifetime still, then maybe your sister-in-law or your own mother, something like that. Kind of mom energy. But you could get rid of that white throne that you're sitting on that was injected into your space. That's not helping. Maybe do it like an earth energy soak. Just bring up some red or orange or yellow earth energy and just, yeah, after you get rid of the white throne. All right, hope that helps. Flame between you guys I guess that's probably your angel's symbol for conflict. Let's see. Hope that helps. Somebody says neighbor below me, and you mentioned their initials. Mental health is worsening. Think their state is attracting bigger beings because we are in a duplex and I'm concerned they are coming to me too. How to protect my apartment. I ask angels and archangels to protect and clear out the space, but I know sometimes it doesn't always work. Is there anything else I can do besides working on my energy and clearing up my physical space? Okay, so first is the question is, are invasive beings attracted by your neighbor then coming to pester you? Yeah, I think that's true. Your neighbor's very leaky. I mean, a nice thing to do would be to maybe, ask the angels to heal your neighbor. Because it's kind of like she's an open door, and so it'd be a lot easier if she wasn't such an open door, she or he. So, I don't know that you've thought of that. Just, having the angels heal that person enough so that they're not such an open door. That's possible. It wouldn't cost you any karma or anything to do that, to pray for that person. Angels, please help this person to be more stable and well for the benefit of them and all of us. That could work. Yeah, I think that would be enough. Just, ask the angels to heal your neighbor, regularly ask for it. And then with the angels and archangels helping to clean out your place, that should be enough. I think you're getting some through your mom too. You could ask for extra healings for her at the same time. I hope that helps. Also, earth energy soaks are nice for your apartment. If you just imagine your apartment and bring the earth energy straight through yours, you're not affecting theirs. You're not, doing it to theirs, even though geographically they're below you. Okay. Imagine the earth energy coming up and soaking your apartment. Hope that helps. Someone says, thank you so much. This morning was super scattered. You were super scattered, and past 2 nights slept much less than usual. Think clearing fear of invasive people attack was really important. Yeah, you were one of my sample people for that exercise, actually. But maybe this morning my auras were ripped up and I didn't repair well enough. I mean, that's also true. I think sometimes when you know who's in your space, you kind of get overly fixated on that those people are being invasive and you need to get them out, as opposed to like, okay, well, overall, what auras of mine are like whacked to shit? Because if your auras weren't whacked to shit, they couldn't waltz in so easily. Or, maybe they did it, but, focus a little bit extra just on the, being calm, and you don't give them so much power with your mind that it's like, oh, she's being invasive. She's invasive. I have a problem with her. She's invasive, like just, auras, how are you? How do you feel? How's, what is whacked up, and also another thing I noticed, because you did mention all of that in your survey, which I did review as I was preparing for the healing. You more have a problem. It's not those two work people you have a problem with. Exactly. Like as far as invasiveness, you have a problem with their beings, not with them. So, yeah, the person is deceptive and dishonest and unprofessional and all these things, but why are they that way? I mean, they're that way because they're kind of checked out and they're running a lot of deception energy, which is invasive beings. And those invasive beings come through that person towards you. And that's what gets all up in your whacked up auras and stuff. I think maybe the person does the whacking, but then the invasive beings are what really gives you the problem where you're like, wow, I can't seem to get them out. so just FYI, you're pretty good at identifying what person is involved in your issue, but that's only maybe a third of the picture. There's the person that did the whacking, but then there's their invasive beings that are coursing through them 24/7 and now pulling from them towards your whacked areas. And so you can just imagine all the invasive beings that are screwing with you through those two people and ask your angels to recycle all those invasive beings that are screwing with you through those two people. And that's something you can commonly do. Like anybody that works with others, especially in a helping profession of any sort, but really a teacher, even just a regular business person who works with clients, invasive beings from that person can kind of come at you, and then you think, oh, that person's really intense, but it's not really that person. It's just the invasive beings that are in their space, and a lot of the times they have no knowledge of their effect on others. I mean, it would really probably shock them if they knew. I remember once I was new in the reading healing profession, like as a full-time pro. I was probably newish. And I told this guy that his invasive beings were in my space, and he thought I was like I mean, you would have thought I just screamed obscenities at him. He thought that was the rudest thing that anyone could possibly have ever told him. Like that, I think I just said he was in my space or something, and he was just like, he was so offended. Like he thought like I was like the worst person on the planet for having said that. And he was like a totally invasive person with everybody, but like to be told that, oh my God, that's a total tangent. But anyway, now as an experienced reader, I wouldn't really bother saying it out loud because I would intuit that the person can't handle that information, so I wouldn't say it. But as a beginner reader, I didn't know that, I didn't know to look to see what information people are open to hearing. So I would just say stuff. Total aside. But anyway, I think I pretty much answered the question. So there's the people that whack, but then there's their invasive beings, which you can have recycled. And then there's just, overall assessment of your auras and, how are your boundaries doing and all that. And, are you in your, major joints? Are you present in your major joints? Are you, do you have any auras, like Wei Qi auras that are really whacked a lot, because that'd just make it too easy for invasive energy to get in. I hope that makes sense, because you tend to kind of make it all about the person, and I think it just makes you a little less accurate in your read of the situation then. Hope that makes sense. But you are accurate in who. It's just all the other stuff you tend to not focus on quite as much, maybe. I didn't repair well enough. Yes, that's true. But the invasive beings are what really got in. These two nurse practitioners are so unpleasant. Feeling much better after the healing, not scattered. Thanks. Well, good. I'm glad you feel better. Somebody says, I thought in a discussion that asking angels to heal a person could be overstepping in some ways. Could you clarify on when, how it's overstepping? Oh, that was it was a very specific thing about curses. And like, people once I was teaching people how to, get rid of curses out of their space, like objects related to curses and invasive beings related to curses, and make sure you get the far off being and all the beings associated with the curse and blah blah blah. Everyone wanted to like clear the curses out of their sister and their mom and everybody, and that's what I was cautioning people about, that like, if you make a specific request, like, yeah, I'll use a fictitious person, so I'm not really doing it, but like, okay, angels, please clear all the curses out of Betty Boop, then it's automatically going to make, I mean, A, Betty Boop's not ready to have all of them cleared out, and B, like, she needs a lot of foundational stuff probably before she can handle that. So it's better just to make it one step more general and just say, angels, if Betty Boop's ready to work on curse removal, can you work on that with her, at whatever pace she's ready to do? So it's like, it doesn't start immediately and you're not really, so linked with it. And then, the angels will take their time with it and do it at a pace that she can handle, which is maybe like incredibly slowly because she doesn't get healings, that kind of, so that was the only time when I was like, slow down about the, asking for healings for other people. It had to do with curse removal, which is a very sort of advanced thing, which we did, on ourselves, because you guys all get these super detailed healings that are very thorough. And so you're kind of ready for that kind of bigger shift. Hope that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. More personal requests for healing. Thank you. More general requests for healing. Yeah. Yeah, you can generally say, angels, please, like, if I'm driving by and I see somebody with a sign and they're begging for money on the side of the street, I say, angels, can you please help that person? I do not drive by, and as I'm driving a car with my own life in my hands and driving a 3-ton instrument that could kill others, I don't give that person an energy healing as I'm driving. Hello? I don't know how many of my clients are doing that, but just in case. I ask the angels and I keep driving and focus on the road. There's the angels, can you please help that person? Angels, can you please bless that person? Angels, that kind of thing. Angels, can you please help keep that person safe? Like if I see them and they're, it's like a road with like no side area to walk on safely and they're still walking, I'm just like, angels, can you please heal and protect that person? But yeah. All right. Let's see. Also no self-healing while driving. Ask your angels about it. If you don't have clarity, then, try to ask and get clarity about it over a couple of days. And then you could, ask for feedback about what you think, because it would be individual for the person, what they can handle while they're driving. Like maybe somebody could handle like gold bottle brush of their legs, at the stop signs and stuff, but somebody else that might be a bit much, and they could just like do a 1 color earth energy soak and leave it at that and listen to calming music or something, or somebody else, maybe they could do like a blue earth energy soak for their mind. But somebody else that might be like, they'll pop out when they do it, even though you shouldn't, but they probably will. And so that would impair their driving safety, and somebody else, maybe they just don't have strong boundaries. And so they might attract too much invasive energy if they're doing like cool, fancy stuff, while they're in a public space. So it's it depends on the person, what would be safe for them. Because it's a public place and because they're driving, 2 different reasons. And everybody has different levels of badassery, safety already. Hope that makes sense. Somebody says, bah ha ha, I stopped healing and driving. Well, thank you. I'm more at peace now knowing that. But if you did it, there could easily be other people doing it. So that's why I still say it. HWD, like DUI, healing while driving. Yeah. Healing others while driving. Yeah. Yeah. HOWD. Oh, speaking of good acronyms, this is totally not exactly related to healing, but I wanted to do it anyway. Okay. So survey. We're going to do a survey. Are you more likely to have, for winter social events, are you more likely to have FOMO, or are you more likely to have JOMO? So FOMO is fear of missing out, right? So regarding winter social events, like maybe that you don't go to, are you more likely to feel FOMO, fear of missing out, or JOMO, which is joy of missing out? So like you don't go and you're so happy that you didn't go to a wintertime social event. Do you have FOMO or do you have JOMO? Which are you? So let's see. FOMO for sure. Okay, so somebody has FOMO. Come on, I want more votes. FOMO or JOMO? Personally, I'm a JOMO, especially in the winter. I would have JOMO, joy of missing out. All right. Well, maybe later people can put it in the video comment section if they hear it later. JOMO for social gatherings, FOMO for healings. Oh, sure. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see. We'll do a pet update, even though my photo proof is substandard. Somebody says both. It depends. Pet update. Outdoor neighborhood cats. Oh, actually, first a regular pet update for our pets. I'll try to be brief, but I want to keep you guys up to date. So if you don't care about my pets or the outdoor cats, you don't have to listen, obviously. There won't be any other major energy healing stuff, most likely after this. If there is, I'll change the little chapter. Okay, so our dog, Izzy, right there, our beagle, senior beagle, we got him to a vet appointment, which is nice. But not so nice. On the way to the vet appointment, he had a seizure, which he does have seizures. He's epileptic, so that's not like a huge shock. But we were hoping that he could do the car ride without having a seizure, obviously. The last time we brought him somewhere in a car, he did have a seizure, but that was like maybe like 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. But we have him on a lot more medication since then. Like the medication doses are more frequent now, so I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but it was the case, whatever. But the vet appointment went fine. His blood test came back fine and everything, so that's all good. And he's going to get a dental, but it's not going to cost an arm and a leg, which is huge news for me, who has to pay for it. Usually dentals, like cleaning the teeth and extracting teeth that need to be removed, is like insanely expensive. But his teeth aren't so bad yet. Because we like squirt water in his mouth after each meal to clean the teeth a little bit. And so they're going to do a no anesthesia dental, where this really good vet who's good at it. She bundles them up in towels and like cleans their teeth and stuff without having to use anesthesia. So it's not like a big surgery. So it's like exponentially cheaper. So I'm quite excited about that. And that's early next month. So I'm thrilled. Thrilled. And my bank account is thrilled. But I will have to, ride in the back and comfort him the whole ride, so that hopefully he won't have a seizure on the way. But it might work. He might not have a seizure because we weren't expecting him to have a seizure. So I wasn't in the back with him. We were both in the front, my husband and I. And so maybe that added to his stress. So hopefully next time I'll be in the back with him in my lap, comforting him, holding him. So hopefully there'll be no seizure. We'll see. But either way, whatever. It'll happen and it'll be good. And our kitten, Felix, he's not around right now, but he's growing so big. It's so funny. He did have big feet when we adopted him. So we thought, okay, maybe he's going to be big. But boy, is he big. He's a big boy. I took this photo of him this morning, and you can see his giant back foot right there. He's so big. And this is him looking out the window, and he barely fits on that level, and his foot is hanging off, and he has this giant fluffy tail that hangs down. But anyway, so that's him. But other than him getting bigger, it's fine. And our feral pet cat who's indoors, Boo Boo Kitty, she's fine too. She's adorable. All right, so then the outdoor cats, which are the neighborhood cats, they're not ours. Okay, so the world is like a little soap opera out there. I did get a refund. I was able to contact them before they made the custom cat house that was like super expensive that I had already paid for. Because, there was this cat that we thought needed it out there, but it turns out now he spends time with his owner, which is much better and healthier and safer for him. I mean, it's not super safe, but it's better. And so we didn't need that super deluxe house. So I got a refund of many hundreds of dollars, which really was helpful. But anyway, but we already have 2 cat houses like in our carport area. Not that we're trying to have a lot of cat houses. It's just that we were really worried about this one cat and I needed a house fast. And he was too giant for the cat house that we already had out there. So that's how we have 2. But anyway, it's like a little soap opera with the cat houses to see like, okay, does this one cat, we call him Tiger. I thought Thirsty Cat was the one in the big house, but it's not Thirsty Cat. It's this cat that we're calling Tiger, who's orange. So here's an image of Tiger. That's Tiger. We're calling him Tiger. We don't really know who owns him, if anyone owns him or what. But he's out all hours of the day and night, so maybe nobody owns him. And maybe he's feral. We don't know. He's probably fixed, though, because he doesn't spray. So somebody fixed him. But anyway, that's Tiger, and he comes into the big house for like 3 to 5 hours every night, usually. The big house has straw in it now, and I can show you photos of him in there. It's kind of cute. But here he is sniffing here's the triangle house, the small house remember Boo Boo used to use this one? The cat that we have now in the house. Boo Boo used to use this one. This house is actually heated. So when they go in, they have to be in there for a little bit, but then they feel it getting warmer in there on the bottom. But nobody's in this house. There was a cat that we're calling Shaggy who tried to be in that house, but I think Tiger scared away Shaggy because Tiger heard Shaggy jump up there, and I think that freaked him out and he ran out, and so that scared away Shaggy. So I'll show you a picture of Shaggy. So Shaggy, let's see. I have a lot of Tiger photos. Where's Shaggy? Come on, Shaggy. Here we go. Okay, so this is Shaggy. He's like this little fluff bunny. And this is like at 3 in the morning. And he was going up there to the triangle house, but I think Tiger scared him away and he ran off. So he never actually went into it. But that's Shaggy. So we don't really know his story either. I gotta ask the kind of cat hoarder guy up the street if he knows about these cats. I'll show him photos. But anyway, so this is when a cat goes into the big, we call it the big house, the bigger cat house that we have that has straw on the bottom. See, when they first go in, I have a cam in there. I have a cam inside the house. So this is like a cat that never actually went in. He's all black, I think. Yeah, this one's all black. But he never went in. He only went in this far. And then he smelled that some other cat had been in there. And so he never went in more than that. Here's an opossum. We have a camera, a different cam. And that's an opossum that was out looking for bugs in the middle of the night. Let's see. But this is Tiger coming into the house. This night he was coming in at 8:30 at night. See, there he is sniffing the straw as he comes in. Just kind of cute. And here he is in the house. Let's see if I can get a, there you go. That's Tiger in the house. So he's orange. He's like a light orange, tan orange, but this is a night vision cam. So it makes him look white, but he's not white. He's orange. So we call him Tiger. We thought it was Thirsty Cat, but then eventually we noticed patterning. It's hard to tell, you know, with the night cam, but he has patterns on him. So that's how we realized it was the orange cat. But this is him when he just lies down in there. Kind of cute. He's all cozy in there. Sleeping away. It's fortunate he sleeps by the door of the cat house because that's where I have the camera looking. And this is our indoor only kitten, Felix the giant kitten. Felix the giant kitten. Did any of you guys have a slinky when you were growing up? Like a slinky is like a toy that's like really long, like a metal spring that's really long. So I said he's like a slinky cat because he's really long and he's really flexible. So he'll like sleep with his head going one way and his hips going the totally different way. And he doesn't mind at all. He's like really oddly flexible. He has gold eyes, which is really kind of cool. We've never had a cat with gold eyes before. I mean, maybe it's a common thing. I don't know. But we've never had a cat with gold eyes. We've always had cats with like green, yellow kind of eyes. So he's our first golden-eyed cat. But anyway, so I think that's, see, he's typing for us. So I think that's the basics of it. Tiger is the main inhabitant of the big house, but there's so many hours that he's not in there. I feel kind of like bad for the other cats because they could use it, but they smell Tiger in it, so they're like, oh, I guess I shouldn't go in. There's an all black cat that has looked in. There's a black and white cat that has looked in. I think I have a cute picture of that black and white cat looking. Let's see, where's he? Yeah, this one right here. He's peeking in the door. He's like, oh, what's in there? So that's a black and white cat, just like walking by looking at it. Nobody went in until I turned the house around. So like they have to go through a narrow corridor to get in. I think that way they feel like it's safer and more private. Before, like the entrance was like along this major like cat passageway that they all walk by, like next to our car. And so I think they felt like the house was too public. But now that I turned it around, they have to like go around and sneak in. I think they like that better. But anyway, so that's the basics. So actually, Thirsty Cat, I don't know if he comes by because on night cam, Thirsty Cat and Tiger look pretty similar. So I don't even know if Thirsty Cat comes around. Initially, we did think it was Thirsty Cat. Thirsty Cat is all gray, just like Boo Boo Kitty. We think they're siblings. But anyway, so that's enough. Oh, someone talked about a Slinky. Yay, Slinky comments. Yes, Slinky went down the stairs. Yes, Slinky went down the stairs. Yeah, that's in the commercial years ago. They would have a Slinky going down the stairs. So we had stairs in our house, and we tried to make it go down the stairs. It didn't do a great job, but I think that's because we had carpeting on our stairs. So you can let me know now or later if your Slinky went down the stairs as well as it did in the commercial. So he says, I had a Slinky. Those are very fun. Yep. So now we have a Slinky kitten. We used to call him Squirrel. Well, we still call him Squirrel because of his big tail, and he'll run around with the squirrel up high, floating around. So it makes him look like a squirrel. But he's so much bigger than any squirrel I've ever seen now. Alrighty. You guys are amazing. If you want to learn more about what I do, check out my website, jwhealing.com. And the next healing is in 3 days on Sunday and then on Wednesday. Bye. Oh, and I'm not going to do jack squat tonight because it's already almost dinner time. So I may do the summary tonight, the like outline. We'll see. But if I don't, you heard it here first. Okay, bye. Let's see. Butterflies. Where are my butterflies? Butterflies. Where are they? Oh, there we go. Okay. Bye. See, now I look like a Disney character.